Right, hello again. Right, so this is me straight off the back of the previous video. Still out here walking. It's peaceful. Right, here's the sights. No traffic, nobody. Nothing. It's not come. I think it's probably about 4 o'clock now. See, just one car. There's nobody on the road at all. Just how I love it. Right, so now I'm gonna talk about men. Right, but I'm gonna link this to my sister. So yesterday, when I was walking around for a piece, no, in fact, before that, I went to buy food for her because there was an oversight, and I thought I had bought sufficient to keep her going until today, Friday, but I hadn't. So I went in the fridge to get her breakfast, which she has grapes every morning. That's what she wants, so she has grapes. So I went out shopping. Now, first of all, I had some cushions and blinds that I needed to deliver, but then my friend told me that there's a train strike, or rather there was a train strike yesterday and again on Saturday, but the client was going away on Friday today, so needed to sort of either me deliver or he collect by the end of the day. So I called him to say I've been informed that there's a train strike. And he said, not to worry, I can come and collect. I asked, are you sure? Because I don't, even though he's a customer and it's his stuff, I'd said that I would deliver them. So I had to make sure that I wasn't inconveniencing him. So interestingly, he collected while I was on the phone to my sister's bank, paid me in cash, which I thought was highly ironic. I'm chasing my sister's bank to release her money, which she has in abundance. And in the meantime, the representative from the bank heard the conversation I was having with him. And I said to her, you see, he's paid me cash, so the bank doesn't have any control over my finances. So, but that's just sort of me leading into what I'm about to say. So when I came out of the supermarket, I've just sort of like given you a build-up to how my day was going. I was already sleep-deprived and up working early. But I have training on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, I mean, most people would have cancelled the training session. So I've got to complete this job. I can't make it. I'm not going to do that because I've given up enough of my life. These 2 years that I've been here with my sister, and I've started with the personal trainer, and I mean to continue Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. sharp. So anyway, right, so what happened? Right, so yes, I went into the supermarket, went to pay, and card was declined, tried again, card blocked. So this was sort of like happening live, I guess. And obviously, because I'm out shopping for my sister, I am livid because it's not for me. And as I said in the 2 previous videos, I could just walk away and just leave her there, right? If I was that type of person. So obviously, I didn't even go back to the flat, even though she was there and she hadn't eaten yet, because it was now coming up to 3 o'clock. And what I did was, I didn't actually let her. Normally she gets up at a certain time. I thought, well, the blinds and the cushions take priority. My training session also takes priority. So she's just going to have to wait until I finish. So by the time I had finished, It was coming up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you see, so then I got her up, sorted her out, because to get her up and sort her out, that would have eaten into the time that I'm supposed to be sewing. And I wanted to complete the task rather than, sooner than later, rather than missing it. Because, all right, I would have gone to the shop to pick up, like when I went into the fridge and realized there were no grapes, I would have said, let me just go and get the grapes. But I was actually of a mind to say, well, you're not going to die of starvation, so let me go and deliver the cushions and the blinds and then come back, and then you can eat then. So I was actually going to do that. But then after speaking to the client, he said he would come and collect. So then I just said, all right, and I came out and I picked up a few items. Fortunately, I had cash, because like I said, my client pays me cash. So I paid cash instead of card. But can you imagine if right, so this video I won't talk about men, because there's something else, right? So I'll do that separately. So I'm going to do 3 videos instead of 2, right? So can you imagine? I think I've not done a video on this, but carer's allowance, which I don't get, I'm not entitled to. I earn too much money, right? So I'm not getting anything for sacrificing. Well, it's not sacrificing, it's the way it played out. It wasn't like I said, I will give up my flat, I will give up my life, I will give up everything to look after my sister. It wasn't that. That's what you call sacrifice. It was things happened, and then it escalated to the point where I'm homeless, which I did think could potentially happen. Right, so so not entitled to get anything because I earn too much money. Can you imagine if I was one of those people who are content to live on £69.70 a week? Can you imagine that's all I've got coming through, and they've blocked her card? Before I came out, I was awake for more than an hour before I got up to come for a walk. I was on Facebook, and I saw a story come up. One of my Facebook friends asked the question, because I make sure I said to the bank that I've documented everything on Facebook and on YouTube, my dealings with you over the year. And so I post, but sometimes my sense of humor in the written form goes over heads. So I posted that at the time while I was talking, because I can multitask, I posted on Facebook that I'm currently holding NatWest to ransom, with the threat that if they don't sort out my sister's financial affairs, I said that wrong. That I've told them that I've spoken to the Daily Mail, who are interested in my story of going from clubbing and dating younger men to being on the verge of walking out and closing the door behind me and leaving my sister to starve. I mean, one of my friends did get it too. He seems to be on the same kind of mindset path as me with regards the sense of humor and personal responsibility and so on. So this morning I woke up to a comment. Ooh, great, it's raining. This will cool me down. I woke up to a comment, and it was like, what's the relevance of you going clubbing to NatWest, and why would NatWest care about who you date? So obviously that went straight over the head, right? Straight overhead. So I responded to that comment, and then the same friend who got the joke shared somebody's post, and it was about a man who, 34-year-old man, in his car crying, and that was the last picture taken of him before he killed himself. He had 3 children, and he fell on hard times. But I look at that story, and my first thought was, all the comments were sympathetic. My first thought was, well, you chose to have 3 children. And knowing human nature as well as I do, I know people would say, yeah, but you never know what can happen. And I'm tired of saying that, how I strategically organize my life in such a way that I didn't at any point fall in with the system. And I said this recently to one of my friends, hi Candice, if you're watching, that unfortunately when you have children, you end up having to mix with people that you would rather not mix with. And also that you fall into the system because you have to send your children to school, you have to register them with a doctor, you have to be in the system when you have children. Unless you're going to homeschool and just live an alternative lifestyle, which most people don't. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go in. It's coming down quite hard. Yeah, so basically that's where we were. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for the purpose of saving time. I'm going to talk about the men thing as well while I'm at it. So that I wasn't sympathetic in other, just keeping it simple, because people have said to me that the situation with my sister, even when I'm sick, I still need to keep going. It's like having children. No, it's not like having children. I don't have any children. And if you choose to have children, you choose whatever consequences come with that decision. I'm not sort of like anti-children or anti-parenting or anything. I'm just saying that if you choose to have children, whatever comes. And you, because you made that choice, have to deal with it. I didn't choose. Well, all right, here's my position. In choosing to go and look after my sister, I ended up choosing to be there for 2 years, right? Because I didn't know how long it was going to take for her to get better. Because the first time when she got ill, it took 6 weeks. So I was thinking it would take that time. But then, whatever, God must know what he's doing. So cutting a long story short now, while I was fuming, I went and sat on a wall close to Sainsbury's so I could make the phone call to the bank. There was a man sort of like of African descent in Sainsbury's trying to catch my eye. I'm sitting on the wall, he's in the car park behind me calling to me, and then he comes round the front and he's trying to talk to me. So what I did was I told him to sit down, and I began to, on purpose, so I can have the tale to tell. So he came and sat down on the wall. I invited him to sit on the wall, and I started to tell him aspects of my story. And when I finished, which is typical, and I know this mentality of man, typically it's like he listened, but he wasn't really listening. And it's like, but can I get to know you? Can we become friends? And I said, what for? I said, what use are you going to be to me? Right, so, and I sort of gave him a slight lecture, and then he left. On the other video, you will hear, I say I'm polite, I was raised that way. I said good morning. If I'm walking past somebody, I will tell him good morning. I said good morning to this one man. And then I sort of, because I'm doing loops on the way back, he's asking me, it's on the other video, you will hear him for yourself, if he can get my number, so we can link up. And here's where I'm going to go into the rant. Do you know how many useless men I've encountered who want my number? And each of them I tell them, like with this one I didn't bother. But, if I sort of like get into a lengthy conversation, I tell them that I'm looking after my sister. And not one of them, even though some of them say, how's your sister, I hope she gets better and all of that, wishing and hoping doesn't achieve results. Like I said, she's been, in the other video, I said she hasn't left the house, the flat, since March 2021. And it hasn't occurred to any of the men that I know, friends, family, whatever, and I'm talking about hers, to say, hey, why don't I come over? And she lives on the 4th floor, very nice flat, but 4th floor, no lift. Hasn't occurred to any of them to say, it's summer. Maybe she wants to go outside. If you want, I can come and help you. Hasn't occurred, right? So, but you know, it will be give her my love, tell her I'm thinking of her, you know, that kind of thing. And not one of them have done anything. And then on the part of men that are interested in me, what exactly do they propose to do? Nothing. They're just going to come in my life if I was that way inclined. They're going to enter my life and be a dead weight. That's what they would do. There are plenty. So I said to him in the video that I don't mix with people, right? Because that's what I don't. If I did, I would be finding a walking group and going walking with them. I'm out here now. It started to rain, which is good because it's cooling me down. I'm out here walking because there's nobody out here. Yeah, I might meet the odd person on their way to work or something, minding their own business. But there's actually nobody out here I can see a couple of people in the petrol station there. And they're probably wondering what's she doing, because she keeps doing circles and all of that. I'm walking for exercise, but they don't need to know that. Yeah, so, all right, so the other thing was, I've got, because I'm outgoing, so you will see videos where, in fact, this YouTube channel originally, before lockdown, was about the tagline, young by name, young by nature. And the whole idea of the channel was that I'm whatever age I was at the time, 54 at the time, or 53 going on 50. Yeah, I was 54 by then. And I still go out and I still do everything that I like. So it was sort of like, not necessarily like lifestyle, or as some people would try to call me, like, oh, you're trying to be an influencer. I spit on the thought. No, I'm not trying to influence anybody. I'm not trying to be an influencer. All I'm doing, as I've always done, let your light so shine before men. Not men as in the gender, men. But human beings. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Right, so basically what I do, that's what we're supposed to do. So I'm out exercising and I'm posting to YouTube and Facebook. So people are left without excuses. If I'm out and about at this time in the morning walking for exercise, and I'm doing twice weekly training sessions, and I've got my sister in tow, and I'm working more hours than the average person, because you do when you work for yourself, and I still manage to, if you like, stay on top of things, still enjoy myself. Well, at the time before lockdown, I was playing with the band and that was going really well. And whatever, I'll come back to the saga of my saxophone, which I haven't had contact with since the last time I played with the band, really. I've not played, but last time I went to my flat was February 2021. I'm not there anymore. I've moved. All my stuff is in my sister's garage the past 2 weeks now. But, you know, things were going great. Life was good. But since, let me see. Yeah, so that's what the YouTube channel was about. So now it kind of changed, and I just started documenting things. And that's where we're at the minute. But I don't post anything to influence anybody. Part of it is, like I said, that's what God tells us to do. It's about letting our light shine. But I've said, if you don't have a light to shine, then you may as well keep quiet. You may as well have a bushel over you. So the point I'm making on that, because there are men who see that I'm very lively and energetically I'm somebody that people want to be around, they will come and try to pitch their hats in the ring. It's one thing I can't stand. It's when a man tries to impress me. But, oh look, I'm doing what you do. Oh look, I like what you like. Yeah, but what's your personality like? How's your relationship with God? What's your character like? Are you able to hold a conversation? You see, so do you help people? When I say help people, you know what I mean. Are you thoughtful? Are you kind? Are you generous? Right, so, and the other thing as well, I mean, part of the reason why nobody's helped my sister is because the two things that were required in the beginning were money and time. And people don't like to share their time. They like to keep all of that for themselves so they can sit down and watch whatever reality TV they watch, or RuPaul's Drag Race, Coronation Street, whatever. The Kardashians. So they want their time so they can do all of that. And as regards their finances, many of them are cheap. So this is why, because I know they're all sort of like watching, or if they're not watching, people will tell them. Whenever like my client pays me, I display the cash, take a picture and put it on Facebook. You know, just to say this is the thing that you people love, and look how easily I can make it. Right? So that's why I do what I do. But like I said, also I can't stand men who are cheap. So if a man's gonna come and talk to me from an angle of about, you know, bargains or anything like that, that's not somebody I want to know, because I'm the type, if I want it, I'll pay for it. If it's necessary, I'll pay for it. So I'm gonna, let me see what time it is. It is now 4:32. My gosh, I've been walking around for an hour already, which is fantastic. I am going back out later, so I will be walking, I reckon, in total maybe another 4 miles later on, which is all good. It all adds up. Right, yeah, so basically, you know, like walking along the street and a man's going to come and talk to me. Can I have your number? To what end? So that you can be a burden to me. That's what it will be. So I don't respect many men, because from the angle that they've come from, it's like, I'm not saying that they see my sister as a burden, but if a man's going to tell me to put her in a care home, you know, so that I can spend time with him, to me, you're the lowest of the low. I mean, there are various things that people have said. Not just with regards to my sister, but just some of the things that people, that I'm talking about men now, that they reveal about themselves. Like the one I was walking on Sunday, and he, one time in the evening, I was coming back from the supermarket, and he had his child in the car. He was turning onto a side road as I was crossing, and he's like, oh, can I have your number, whatever. And this young child was sitting in the car. So on Sunday, just gone, I was walking again for exercise, and car pulled up. Do you remember me? I said, yeah. And I said, where's your son? He's not with me. Can we hook up some? No, can we link up? That's what they say, link up. So I said, no. Why not? I said, because you have a family. Well, all I was saying, I wouldn't have linked up with him anyway, because that's not the type of person that I would be interested in. Right, so so I said to him, because you have a family, but I was taking it somewhere. I wanted, again, material to share. So he said, well, I don't have a family, I have a son. And I'm thinking, right, I think I don't know if it's this video or the other one. Yeah, it could be, I don't know. It's either this one or the other one, just because I'm recording back to back. And so he doesn't regard having a son as family. I talked about the father, the 34-year-old man with 3 children, who killed himself because he wasn't able to cope financially. This man has a child, and he doesn't view the child as family. He views as having a family, rather. He views the child as an entity unto itself. And so what I said to him was, I don't go out with men who have young children. Why not? And I said, because where there's a child, where there's a young child, there's a mother, right? So that type of thing. You have to think clearly when people are talking to you, what the implications are. So, because I consider every aspect of my life very carefully, this is why my sister got lucky. But people like to tell me that I'm lucky, but my sister got very lucky that I didn't listen to any of them, that I don't take advice, and I just lived my life how I live my life. So I chose sewing, and as a consequence, I was able to move. And I've made videos, and I've mentioned this before. At the time when she needed help, I was able to transport my work into her living room, which is where I've been working these past 2 years. Plus, it's just more than 2 years now. So my point is this. The men who who see fit to come and talk to me, wanting my number, wanting a date, or whatever it is that they want, what is the condition of their life? I am 100% sure that it's not on par with mine. Therefore, the only thing that they are going to bring to me is chaos. There's not going to be any level of life enjoyment on my part, because you can tell by the approach. You're meeting some random woman on the street, and you want her number. You want to link up, to talk about what, to do what. The last person who invited me, he actually stopped and gave me a lift. It was raining, but then he didn't have any conversation. He thought that the two of us, he goes to the gym, I go to the gym. I got a personal trainer. I didn't use personal trainers at the gym, because for me they're not what I'm looking for. No offense, but I want somebody who's been there and done that. So he was looking at it from the perspective that you train, I train. So it's the same kind of thing, like you go to karaoke, I go to karaoke. You like music, I like music. You like to go out, I like to go out. I mean, if that, I would have been married 100-fold. 100,000 times, a slight exaggeration. You know what I mean? But I could have been married many times over if that was the requirement. I like what you like. Right? Because the thing is, you need to like God. If you don't like God in the way that I like God, for example, the guy that I have an interest in, and I said the guy that I have an interest in, so as not to give details, he has an interest in God, and he won't marry anybody that God doesn't approve of, and I won't marry anybody that God doesn't approve of. And I've already said in the other videos that I've done, I mentioned about having leverage. I have leverage. People would say to me, people who believe in God but have no concept about God would say, you can't say that, you can't do that. But I do. I make sure that whenever I have any dealings with anything, like for example with my sister, anything at all, any situation, and I don't make decisions unless I run them by God, or unless I know that the consequences I can handle. But anything else, if anything that God wants me to do, I have leverage. I'm going to go to him and I'm going to say, you told me to do that. Like, for example, the best leverage I've got in the Bible, it says, be ye therefore perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. So when I'm out here walking, this is me gathering evidence for my case. They'll say, well, I was out walking at 3 o'clock in the morning for exercise, so you have no right to come and, like I get sick or something. And, like with my sister's situation, like she's accepted it these 2 years. That wouldn't be me, because I'd be arguing with God. I say, look, I look after myself. What is this? Right? So if I've done my part, then that's what I do. I will take it straight to God. So I don't do life insurance policies, health insurance, nothing at all. No pensions, no nothing. The responsibility is on God. You put me here on earth, it's up to you to look after me. I will do what I can, but it's up to you. So again, coming back to men, I don't look at a man to provide for me. And when I say to provide, I'm talking about to fulfill me. Right? Nobody needs to fulfill me. That's why I said was it this video? No, it's a previous one, I think. I don't even know. I'm confused now. That's why I said, when I said to him, when the guy asked me for my number, I said I don't mix with people. Because I don't actually need anything from anybody. I go out by myself. You see, I'm motivated. I can get up at 3 o'clock, whatever time in the morning, and go for a walk by myself, and I can walk around for as long as I want to. I know what time the carer's coming, so I'm just going to go and get in the bathroom and sort myself out and then go back to bed once she's left. And then I need to go and deliver something at probably to get there for 1:30. And I'm going to have a very relaxing day. I'm not planning to do any work before Monday, or maybe Sunday afternoon or something. And I'm just going to take my time, clean the flat, and just relax. So I'm not going to have some useless man around me demanding his dinner, demanding me wanting me to do the thinking for him or something. Right? I don't have that even with or without my sister. Obviously, I didn't inherit my sister until I was 54, right? So if I've gone to the point of 54 and I've managed to not saddle myself down with one of these useless men who come looking, what are the chances that I'm going to do it now? If you get my drift, right? So there are guys sitting there watching, even at this time, because I do post on Facebook, and obviously I make videos, and they are fully aware of the situation with my sister, and not one of them have stepped in to say, how can I help? I have to give respect to the removal men. One of them gave me his number. He said, the thing is, you need a man's help with some things around here. And he said, call me if you need any help. Because like the garage door, it's kind of broken. And he recognized, I didn't need to say anything to him, he recognized that additional help might be required. He didn't presume to offer that help. He said, if you need it, let me know. Right? That's a proper man. He's available. If I need help, he will come and help, because he himself said it. You need a man's help. And I agree, because I'm one of these people. I'm not a feminist. I respect the roles that in the way that God created us. A man has his role, a woman has her role. I respect that 100%. And so therefore, there were no excuses when men are useless and they just think that if they show you that they like, well, talking about myself, they show me that they like to dance, or they like to do all the things that I like to do, that's the sum total of winning me. First of all, The one thing is God. If you don't have some kind of relationship with God, if you're not disciplined, if you're untrained, then you're not going to make it past first base, right? So to all the men watching, if that's you, you know what, I'm not talking about me personally, but if you're chasing women, I've already done the videos on women. If you're chasing women, then of women of substance like myself, then you need to make sure you have something to offer in exchange, rather than to just come because you like the person and you want to attach yourself to them. So that's it. I'm going to leave that there because some neighbor might be twitching the curtains and wonder what's this person in a hoodie doing standing out there. So I'm at my sister's front door now. So I'll end here, and I will say to you, have a very good morning. Take care. Bye-bye.